my channel. You guys, yeah, I know my hair looks crazy, but I am busy doing my hair. And for those that didn't know, I do my hair myself because God blessed me with this hands. So I was feeling a little bit bored, so I decided why not just film today. Since tomorrow is Father's Day, and I probably just want to bring you guys a small Father's Day special. So today's one is going to be a story time. And then, sorry guys, as you're gonna see from the title, it's gonna be how I met my dad for the first time in a casket. Guys, this has been a long time coming. It's like one of those videos that I was supposed to shoot a long time ago, but I procrastinated a lot because it's weird. It was a little bit weird, and I was still healing, like from all the trauma that caused me. So, anyways, where am I gonna start? Okay, let me tell you a little bit of a background. I grew up with my grandmother and my grandfather in a small town called Hentis Bay, and I'm sure most of you know about that. And so I didn't know my dad. I didn't know about his whereabouts. Oh, I knew about his whereabouts. I used to ask my mom where he is and everything about him, and then she would tell me, no, your dad lives in a certain town. She would always tell me the town, so I knew where he was at least, and I knew his name, I knew his surname, but that's all I knew about him until I think I was about in grade 4. And then my grandmother came, and then she called me, and she was like, no, there's somebody looking for you. And I wonder who this was. And then so I came there, and it happened to be my uncle's. Yeah. And then later I found out that he was my dad's cousin. Yeah, who came to look for me. And then he came, then I think we spoke, he greeted me, and I think he gave me some money or something. Yeah. And that was it. I never heard about my dad until 2014. Yes, until 2014. I remember it was actually the beginning of 2015. Yes. After, so I finished my grade 10. I did my grade 10 in 2014, and most I did very well. So I went for national prize giving. So national prize giving happened in Windhoek. So your homegirl here has never, like, the first time I went to Windhoek was for Spell Quiz B. Yeah, when I was grade 8. Yeah, so that was my second time in Windhoek by then. And yeah, so we were looking for a place to stay. My mom was looking for a place to stay, and then she remembered that one of my uncles has a place in Windhoek. So she called him, and then we went to go stay in his apartment. That was also a studio at that time. So we went to go stay there, and yeah, we stayed there for a few days, and then that's how I met my first uncle at that time. And yeah, we stayed there for 2 days, I think. No, one, yeah, the day we came, and then the next day that was the prize giving. And then yeah, and then from there on, never really heard anything about my dad still. Fast forward, and then at this point I was in university, 2019. I was third year, second year. Yeah, second year. Guys, I can't remember it, like my mind goes blank. But anyways, I know it was 2019, and I was in med school, and I'm still in med school. So yeah, what happened was I was prior to that, sorry guys, before that, what happened was one day I was with my friends, we were studying for a test, and then I get a call from this person who speaks good Afrikaans, and it's like one of those prank calls, man, where you are calling somebody that you know, and turned out that it was my dad. And so yeah, guys, South Africans was a really good day. So turned out it was my dad, and then we spoke. But then I was busy studying for a test, so I told him no, he should call back like the next day, because we are busy studying for a test that we were writing the next day. So yeah, okay, I think I'm skipping some things. So before that, what happened was that I always had, like, I always wanted a father, like somebody who could be there as my father. Not that like my uncles and like my grandfather were not enough, but I wanted my own father, my biological father. Like prior to that, like I had one uncle. That's now my grandmother's son, last born, who was a father figure to me. Like, it was the only one of the few family members that were really like a father figure to me. So and then he passed away when I was in grade 8, and when that happened I was so devastated, because I felt like I lost like somebody that I really considered a father. So yeah, after that, like you guys know, I got born again, and like I literally, like, born again, where I was like, I'm never going back again. It was when I was grade 11. I just decided, you know what, I want to improve my life. I just need God to help me with everything. So that was when I was in grade 11. And so after that, that's where I learned about forgiveness. Like prior to that, I always had this question, like I was gonna ask my dad, what happened, like why are you not taking care of me the way you are taking care of my brother? Because mind you guys, the dad that I don't know is the one who used to take care of my elder brother, and I really didn't know what was going on. Like I just thought all this time, I just felt like maybe he didn't love me, yeah, maybe like he just didn't love girls, that's why he was taking care of my brother and not me. And I only came to find this out like later when we were older, I think when we were in university, yeah, when I found out from my brother that actually like my dad has been the one taking care of him. But then like I've never met him, like me, his princess, his little girl. But anyways, yeah, where was I? So on the other hand, like, yeah, I was talking about how I spoke to this man now on the phone, like who turned out to be my father, and he never called back the next day. Like I think I sent him a message, he never called back. So me, Moss, I was just like, it's fine. And during those times, that's when I actually like really, really did forgive him, because like I was just like, oh, he was so sweet. Like even if we just spoke like for that, maybe like less than 10 minutes, probably like 5, not even 5. For those few minutes, like I still felt like there was a connection. Feels like I've known this person forever, and we were making jokes, and I'm like, oh wow, I really do forgive him. So I was really like, so I think I was chilled in the fact that I had forgiven my dad and he's alive, and I'm happy to know that he's alive, and I found out that he's taking care of my brother, so that was nice. And so what happened? So after that, we come now to 2019, right? So it was, we had that time we still had holiday, so we had a week, yeah, we had I think a week midterm break or something like that, Easter break. Yeah, we had Easter break, and I decided I'm gonna move out from my friend's place, from the hostel, not move out, but just move to my friend's place, just for the holiday, because I was tired of being in the hostel, and I think prior to that we had a lot of tests, and then after that we also had a lot of tests after that, so I needed to study, and then I needed a new environment, so I moved to my friend's place. And then I think just the next day after I moved there, in the morning she's calling me, and she's telling me, no, there are a lot of missed calls on my phone, and I'm wondering what's happening. And then I'm just like, no, it's fine, let me just sleep, because I was up the whole night, the previous night, studying. And just after that, somebody calls me and then they're like, no, there was someone at the hostel looking for you, and it was a man, and then he said he's your uncle. So at this point, like, I really didn't know who it was, because I'm like, everybody who's supposed to know me knows me, so I don't know what's happening. So, oh yeah, so my uncle, the one I met, like, had introduced me to the other uncles that were also in Windhoek, his brothers. So this is how I knew, like, at least two of my uncles at that point. The two of them, yeah, I knew two of my uncles. So yeah, like, this person is telling me, no, there's somebody looking for you and it's your uncle. So at this point, I didn't even think about my dad's family. I just thought of my other uncle, like, from my mom's side, and I knew they didn't know, like, where I lived in the hostel. They knew I was in Windhoek, but they didn't know where I lived. So yeah, I just thought maybe it's them that were looking for me, and I thought, no, like, whoever is supposed to be my uncle is supposed to have my number, so they should probably be able to get to me. And then, just while we were talking like that, then she calls me. My mom calls me on my phone, and then she's there, and then, like, my mom, she was just like, no, you should really, like, take this in a good way. No, not in a good way. She was like, no, just be strong. And then I'm like wondering, okay, what's happening? Because this time I also came out of my sleep, so I was not really awake. And then she's like, no, your dad passed away. Like, your father passed away. I'm like, whew, okay. Like, I just took it and I'm like, okay, it's okay. And then she's like, no, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then my uncle tells, like, so then after that, like, my uncle calls me, then he asks whether I want to go to the funeral, and then that we'll be leaving, like, the day in 2 days time, or in the next day or something. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. So that night I just move out of my friend's room. I go back to the hostel, and then I do my hair. So I sit there in front of the mirror and I'm doing my hair, and while I'm doing my hair, I'm starting to process everything, like, oh, okay, tomorrow I'm going to the funeral of a man that I was just getting to meet, and yeah, I start to process it. Okay, so I did, and it didn't hit me much, because, like, I really did not know him, and we didn't even have a relationship. I guess we were trying to establish a relationship. So yeah, it didn't hit me as much as it was supposed to. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna have a part 1 and then a part 2. So yeah, I'm so sorry, this one is long, so I'm gonna end it here, and then I'm gonna make a part 2. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching up to here. So I'll come back with a part 2, and hopefully you guys will also see how my hair looks after it's done. So bye, guys.